So I entered and I made it to the like the preliminaries to go to Kingston and everything and all of that. I remember one of the coordinators calling me over, and she was like, "Listen, Trisha, we love your face. You're great on camera. You know what you're standing for, all of that. But you need to lose that belly, and your thighs are a little on the large size." Like, she literally showed me, like, we had a picture in the newspaper, and she's like, "You are like the biggest one."
But how did it make you feel?
It made me feel so less than. I felt like, why am I so different? That's the one thing that I couldn't understand. Like, why I have to be so different?
Hey everyone, I'm Dania Beckford. Bold, sometimes brash. And since I'm the CEO of Broadtail Design, I consider myself Broadtail beautiful. It's time we make the conversations we have as women open, honest, and authentic as we navigate living our best lives. Join me as I have intimate conversations with women of all sizes, shapes, and confidence levels as we explore being Broadtail.
Hey everybody, it is Thursday again, and you know that means that it is time for us to have an interview with another fabulous woman on Being Broadtail. Now guys, we left the 876. Yeah, we'll fly out virtually, and we're in New York, and we're talking to a very dynamic woman. She is a plus size model, yes. She owns her own swimwear company, and get this, she's Oprah's stand-in model. We're going to find out what that means, and if she get the gift that Oprah give everybody else on the show. I have with me my very good friend in New York, Tricia Campbell. Hey, Trisha, how you doing?
Hello. Thanks for having me on your platform. I'm super excited
You look
to
pretty.
share all of that goodness, juiciness that you just said about me. Wow.
Because it's true though. Me never make up no names. True.
That's
All
true.
right, so tell me, is it cold right now in New York?
It is freezing. Normally, I would have my swimsuit on right now in my apartment. I'm doing interviews and modeling and stuff. I had to think twice, although I still have some shoulders out. So, yes, it's freezing. But once you have that tropical mindset, you could never be cold.
And as you said, by the way, it's not freezing in Jamaica. Let me just let you know that you should come home right after you
I will.
quarantine. You talk about the tropical mindset. Tell us about your Jamaican background.
So I was born and raised in Mobay,
Yes.
whatever. I call it like one of the most beautiful places in the world. Of course, after traveling to so many different countries and realizing where I'm from, I'm like, wow, I really grew up on
We
a
live in
nice
paradise.
part. Yes. So, I hope a lot of us can appreciate it more, really, because we do come from paradise. So I went to Alvernia.
You know, all my cousins
Prep
went to Mount
school.
Alvernia.
Huh?
All my cousins went to Mount Alvernia because my father is from Obey.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool. Yeah. So I went to prep school, Alvernia, and high school. And then the minute I was supposed to go to come see, they call it, my grandmother was like, when the papers come, you gotta go, gotta fly out. Like, I paid and everything to go to college in Jamaica, and then it was like, next week, no, I'm gonna have to leave. So
So you
then
were
when
like, what, 16, 17?
yeah, I just finished high school, so I was 16. It was like September, and in November I was supposed to be like 17.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I was 16 going on 17.
How was
And
it for you moving to the States at that time? How did you fit in?
it was a culture shock, definitely, because going to high school in Jamaica, number one, you were in a uniform.
Right.
Number two, back then it was run by nuns, and you can't wear earring, you can't wear makeup, you can't wear lipstick, you can't have nails. And I started modeling
Sound like
when
prison.
Yeah,
High school was
definitely.
prison.
Yeah, it was like prison. Like you couldn't, and I was very a creative person even at that age. And I got into modeling after entering Miss Jamaica when I was 13.
Mm.
So when I started Alvernia, I already was kind of in the modeling world a little bit. So then my glam levels started to pump up, and getting my little nails and doing my eyebrows and wanting to wear makeup and all that stuff, which the nuns them just crashed that. Like, no, I do that.
Yeah, nah, that not
No,
play.
no,
Not
no,
keep.
no, no. So then coming to New York now, it was a whole other, spectrum, like just getting to wear anything you want. I came to Brooklyn, and that's a melting pot with people from all over the world,
Yes.
in one place. It was fun, but it was, as I said, culture shock, because I went to an all girls school and then going into a co-ed school. That was see the
Oh,
kissing in
you
the
were seeing all
hallway and
the boys and
yeah,
everything that they have,
yes, and all the boys seeing you. So
and all the boys seeing you.
yeah, so it was super exciting but different. And I did 1 year of high school, and then I went to FIT, which is
Right.
a Fashion Institute of Technology on
Right.
7th Avenue. And
So
that
hold
was
on, you always knew that you wanted to be in fashion because you said you went to FIT.
yeah, I always wanted to be either an interior designer or a fashion designer, because you know how it is when you have Caribbean parents,
Mm-hmm.
nothing else but education, education,
Right.
education. Like you have to have a degree in something. I tell them, say, oh, I'm gonna be an actor, singer, model. Model? What's that?
What?
No.
Oh,
Get
yeah,
into
yeah, got school for got on model. Yeah,
you feel
yeah, me
pretty,
hear
but
that.
no. Yeah, you can't. That's not a career where you're gonna get your insurance, your retirement, all this stuff. So my mom was not having it. But deep down, I wanted to do my design too. So I was like, I'm going to FIT, and I went,
Mm-hmm.
and for 4 years, and that was awesome. Met some great people and had fun doing that, like learning the ins and outs of what it is to be a designer, from draping to drawing to, and then we had like different social arts that we had to do, and all of that, liberal arts, learning about arts in Africa, psychology, different things. So it was a well-rounded education. I
And
loved it.
I like that you mentioned that because I'm going to ask you, were you always plus size? So when you were living in Jamaica as a preteen and a teenager, were you plus size at that time?
Oh, yes. So I was always, from I could remember hitting puberty, I was like size 11, 12. And when I entered Miss Jamaica, actually, I got fat shamed. That was the first time I
Tell me
ever
about
got
it.
fat shamed.
Tell me about
So
it.
during modeling, what happened was I was a tomboy. So my mom had migrated already. She used to go back and forth. So I was a tomboy. All my friends were guys, and I'm very competitive. So I'm like, yo, y'all jump off of the roof, man. I jump off of the roof. So all this stuff.
Oh, you were that girl. Okay. I was the girl watching that girl with the guys doing that. No, me never did jump off of the roof.
So I was totally that girl. So one of my good friends, he is used to be in the modeling world, and it was like, yo, you need to enter Miss Jamaica. Like, what are you doing? Like, they're in town, like you need to go. So I entered, and I made it to the like the preliminaries to go to Kingston and everything and all of that. I remember one of the coordinators calling me over, and she was like, listen, Trisha, we love your face. You're great on camera. You know what you're standing for, all of that, but you need to lose that belly, and your thighs are a little on the large size. Like, she literally showed me, like, we had a picture in the newspaper, and
Right.
she's like, you are like the biggest one. So I'm 14 years old, right? First of all,
Wow.
I shouldn't have even been in the competition because you're supposed to be 18.
Right.
So
I
when
was wondering
that
how
was
did you
another
actually
thing,
get in at 14?
because at that
You looked
time
bigger than the other ladies. Is that it?
yes, because at 14,
Mm-hmm.
I look like I was 20, like I'm 19. I'm curved out, everything, figure on point, all of that. Yeah. So I didn't even say anything to anybody. I didn't say anything to my
But how did it
parents.
make you feel though?
It made me feel so less than. I felt like, why am I so different? That's the one thing that I couldn't understand. Like, God, why I have something so different? Like, why everybody else belly flat? I have big hips and my thighs are big, because I'm a thigh girl.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I have thighs and belly and all of that. even back then. And I just couldn't understand. But then at 14, I was like, then the competitiveness again,
Right.
what I am. I was like, yo, man, I'm gonna show them, girl. I went on a crazy ass diet, only
What?
eating fruits and water, like for like a
Fruits and
whole week.
water.
I fainted. I almost died.
Then you know what's almost dead, miss? Fruits and water, not really food.
And I don't even, and that's the strangest thing. I don't even remember losing any weight. Like I was like, what am I doing to myself?
So wait, you're on this crazy diet. You almost fainted, and you still didn't lose weight.
I
Oh,
fainted.
you fainted.
I did faint. Yes.
Okay, but you still didn't. You don't remember losing actual weight.
I don't remember like losing like a lot of, maybe I toned up a little bit. And plus I was trying to exercise because I've always been a dancer.
Mhm.
You know, people knew me from Alvernia as like, I'm a swimmer and I'm a dancer. Like,
Right.
so plus I was trying to dance, plus, you know, starve myself. It was not a good look. Mm-mm.
So what happened after the episode of fainting, and how did you feel about yourself at that point?
So
And
at
what
that
took you out of
point,
that?
I was still competitive. I was still like, listen, I'm still doing it. And then Pulse, who used to come to Alvernia too to recruit. So I was like, perfect. You know, they're going to come. So I'm on point. I'm like starving myself. And, you know, I'm sure my waist is getting, in my mind, I'm thinking my waistline is much smaller.
Because you're starving yourself.
So I kept on going. Mr. Cooper came. It was a no, like, you know, no, of course, because you're too big, especially back then. Oh my God, no.
Right.
So, yeah. So then it was time to go back to the competition. Went back. Now they were like, okay, girls, we need your paperwork. You know, it's time for the serious stuff.
Mhm.
I brought my paperwork and they were like, honey, you're only 13 years old. You cannot go.
You cannot enter. You cannot enter. I really just don't know why you think you'd be getting in at 13 and 14. But I'm happy that you had big dreams at that time. So can we fast forward to feeling like you needed to lose all of this weight, feeling like that you are so different from everybody else that you are around at the time with your hips and your thighs and your belly fat, and then migrating to New York? How did that translate into you being a plus size model?
Boy, I'm telling you, I always say that models, especially plus size models, you get chosen. It's not something that just you say, oh yeah, man, I want to model and do it professionally and make it for a living like how I do. So I'm in New York now and I'm in school. I'm in FIT and having fun and just drawing on, because FIT is intense, especially if you're in the design program. I mean, you're making garments, you're designing, plus you have your liberal arts, everything that's crazy. So I'm there and then I graduate now and I'm still living at home with my parents. And of course, you spend so much time in school, you got to get a job. So I get a job on 7th Avenue in the fashion industry. And I guess from going to modeling school, grooming school, and my mom was a socialite. No man can dress. I mean, heels to hair, makeup, everything. So I learned from my mom how to put myself together. And I would always go to work, and because you're in the fashion industry, so you want to make sure you're up on point.
You always look good.
Yeah, every man, you're walking on the street, everybody like looking good.
And yeah, every girl in a New York, when them are walking in New York, them go like so them dip on a runway. Let's just be real. When I'm in Manhattan, I swear to me, I'm a friend them. I carry Bradshaw and everybody else in a Sex and the City. Right. I get what you mean.
Yes. So I'm in that whole world now. So I guess, the people who I used to work for, they would see something in me that I didn't really remember. Because remember, I was a model in Jamaica and all of that, ex-beauty queen. And they would always say, oh, Trisha, can you throw on something for us and show it to the buyer? A photo shoot is coming up, but you look so good and everything. Can you just can we take some pictures?
So you're like a live model.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, sure. I'm like, yeah, man. Because I'm like, yeah, man, me used to model. So that's not enough for me, So then one day, I saw one of the professional models. She came in and I saw her, her check.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what? That's how much money they pay you for coming? So just 1 hour to do what you doing? Because what she would do, she would come in, try on stuff. It's called fit modeling. and you are the perfect sample size for that company.
Right.
So you're like their living mannequin pretty much. And I
Mm-hmm.
was like, OMG. I said, no, I have to find out how to get into this because I'm pretty much doing this here for free.
Right.
Right. And I tracked her down one day and she was so sweet, so nice. She's one of the top supermodel, fit models of the world, pretty much. And she was like, listen, you're young, you're beautiful, you have a design background. Because with fit modeling, you have to know a lot about technical stuff with the
Right. And
garment,
garments and material, ensure that
measurements
things
and
right.
everything. And she was like, you would be perfect for it. And she said, here are some agencies, look it up and all of that. And I looked it up, and after that, I got a lot of no's at some of the agencies, and then I got like 2 agencies, and then they started sending me out on my lunch
And
break.
that's how it all started.
Yeah, man, I got so busy, and I had to decide whether I was gonna stay as a designer or I was going to just put my foot in big time and just be a model.
Right.
And of course, my parents was not having it. They were like,
Yeah,
"Well, my
because they
friend,
might think that being a model is not actually a job.
right? Yeah." They were
Especially
like, "What?"
because I know that being a plus size model is something that happened a couple of years ago. It's not something that has always been around, because we all know the types of bodies that we see on international stages and at all of these fashion shows. So you became a plus size model. You're doing this fit model thing. You earning from it and everything.
Mhm.
How did you become Oprah's standing model?
Oh, that is just the grace of God. That is that. I can't even say anything else but that. But it is, and also the law of attraction, I guess, because you have to set your intention. And I believe that setting your intentions and really acting like you're in it and you have it already, it will come to you. So with me, that was one of the top things that I wanted in my career. And that's what I always tell people, whatever you want to do, you have to open your mouth and tell, your
Put it out to the
agents or
universe.
your
What is that
manager,
for?
right? And of course, the big G, God up above, first and foremost, what you want to do. And that's exactly what I did. And I went for that casting 4 years in a row. And I remember the 4th year, I was like ready to give up. I was like, yo, they know me already. Like, all her art director, her booking agent, people, they know me. I've been going there for almost 4 years. And sometimes they have the casting 2 times a year, 3 times
Right.
a year. So they would
So
see
they would
me.
have had all your pictures. They know how you move everything. They know everything about you. And you were doing
Because
it
the
for
thing
4 years.
Yes, because the thing is, when you go to the casting, you have to be the exact same size as Oprah. You have to, because remember, you're gonna be wearing the same clothes she's wearing,
Mhm.
everything. Like you have to. I'm just a little bit taller than her by height, but we're the same size and everything. So I guess I was just not matching up her size those times.
Right.
But on the 4th time, I remember I told my agent, I was like, I'm not going. Like, they know who I am. And he checked me so fast. He was like, listen, girl, this is your dream. This is what you want. You have to go and let these people see you. And I was like, all right, I'm going to go. And I went.
The one last time you went.
The one last time I went, and I gave it my all. I wasn't being a bitch. I wasn't because I got an aha moment. I was like, God, I know if this is for me, it's for me. Let me just go in there and give it my all. Went and everything. Didn't even think anything about it now, because I'm like, okay, that's just another
You're over
casting.
it. You've done it so many
Yeah.
times. You're just going through the motions.
Right. So over it. So if y'all know New York, we all take the subway. So I go down in the subway. Back then, the subway signal, you couldn't really get it. So when I came out, now my phone got signal. My phone was blowing up. I was like, what the hell? So I called my agent. Was like, girl, they booked you. You are booked for the
What?
December cover of O magazine for her favorite things. So what I do, I'm called a lighting model.
So hold on, wait. You said favorite things.
Yeah.
You get the favorite things too?
Yeah, you get some things if you want. Like if there's stuff that, you could get some stuff.
Be sure to tell her that you and I are friends. And so you have to share the favorite things. Okay? Just letting you know. Okay, continue.
So, right. So, man, I screamed so hard. I was like, what? In the middle of the street, and
Nice.
my only thing with that was that by that time my mom had passed away. So
Oh, no.
my mom
So
had
sorry.
just passed away, like I think a year before. And because she was warming up to, me being a model finally and all of that.
And this was a big thing in the career, so she would have been happy.
Yeah, she would have been like, whoa, you know what I mean? Even though I was like a professional model by then, paying all my bills, working, and being, a professional supermodel by then.
Yeah, but this is definitely would be a gem for her to know.
Definitely.
But you know what? She does. She does.
Yes.
Now, what I want to know is, there's a lot happening in America right now. There's a lot happening with the Black Lives Matter movement. There's a lot of social and cultural change. There's also a wave in terms of this social cultural change where a lot of people are doing plastic surgery to have the types of bodies that previously they looked at thinking that it's not the right type of body because it wasn't slender enough. You living in the States and being a plus size model, embracing all of your curves and everything that comes with that. How are you managing right now? Are you loving the fact that this movement is happening? How do you feel about it?
It is one of the best times to be a full-figured, thick, voluptuous, plus size,
fluffy, full-figured, plus size.
Broadtail. It is an amazing time to be a woman of size right now. I mean, for me, back then it was then too, but now it's like it's through the roof because of people like Ashley Graham. She's a supermodel. A lot of actresses, actors, and of course me. Empowering women and letting women know that, you are not just your size, whatever you've been through, you are worth it. And that's why I started Confidence Queens also, which is my 90-day one-on-one program to inspire and uplift and mentor, fellow models, beauty queens, just different people from all walks of life who want to up their confidence, because now is the time. I mean, it's an amazing time right now, especially birthday.
Yes, I agree. I agree that it is an amazing time because not only for those who want to be in the fad of, plus size is in right now, but for a very long time, plus size women have been speaking out about the goodness and and loving themselves and their bodies. And I feel like it's a great time in this moment that it's actually becoming the trend. And what I do know about how strong the movement is, and for everybody who's participating in it, it's going to be not just a trend, because we're definitely here to stay. And this is how I want to talk about your swimsuit line as well, because you too have a swimsuit line. I remember when I met you at a Rebel Salute, it was, and we were talking about swimsuits and all that. Tell me how, I know you said you went to design school and you're a model, so it's very easy to get into fashion, as in garments. Tell me when you decided to start your own swimsuit line.
So I decided, I was on a photo shoot in Guadeloupe, the beautiful French island, ooh la la. And of course,
I love how you do your body when you say Guadeloupe.
It's just one of those islands that I love. It's awesome. So I went and I was the only plus size model. And of course, they did not have any nice swimsuits for me to wear. And being, from that fashion world, and I was like, no, man, let's go shopping. I literally went shopping with the stylist, and I'm like, they must have some shop here in Guadeloupe where there's something for curvy women. When I tell you, there was no stores. The only stores they had was like those, those little boutiques, but like you could tell the swimsuits are straight from China, just graded up, not made for a plus size woman. Then we found this fancy boutique that had a lot of like European swimsuits. So if anybody know about like the European swimsuits, they have some plus size, but it's very pricey. I'm talking about like a bikini that could be over almost 300 euros, right? Not even talking USD. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna buy it and you guys could reimburse me and everything. Cause I was like, I'm not going to set as a plus size model looking like crazy. No.
Less than any other model.
Yeah. So I was like, I went to my hotel and I'm like, yo, this is the end of this. Like, I'm tired of this. Like every time when we go on set as models, as plus size models, and for years I've done Rip the Runway, BET stuff, did Glamour magazine, a lot of different things. And I know there was a common thread Essence also did like all these different magazines, everything. The stylist would always put us as the afterthought. I don't know if it was just
Right.
difficult for them to find great finds for us, or they just wasn't in love with it. You know what I mean? And I'm like,
I feel like it's a little bit of both because to give it credit and credence, there weren't a lot of plus size designers back then because as I said, it wasn't the trend. So I feel like they never had a lot of options and they were also not in love with that idea because they weren't
right,
used
they
to it.
weren't used
So
to
it's a
it.
little bit of
Definitely.
both.
I mean, there were stores, don't get me wrong. You had Bloomingdale's, Mason, different stores that you could, but I just don't feel like they wanted to do that groundwork and just make it work. Because there were like, yeah, the Lane Bryans, they had different places that you could go, you know what I mean? All of that. And they did
But
have
some weren't even
online shopping
fashionable.
still.
Yeah, some weren't even fashionable though,
Yeah,
because you get the sizing for some, but then it looks
yeah,
frumpy.
yeah, it's true. Yeah, because a lot of designers weren't doing the nice stuff. So that's how I started my swimwear line. I came home and I was like, listen, I'm a trained designer and this is what I would want to see. And I'm like, I know a lot of women are struggling with this. Like I would see women still in shorts and t-shirts and wearing swimsuits,
Yeah, man, all pants them I wear
black
garbage.
boring
Fully
swimsuits.
deal with it all the time because they're unable to find a swimsuit that they really love that accentuate their
Right.
curves.
So I was like, I am gonna show up and show out and just design stuff that I would want to wear and stuff that I would think, women would need. Because I come from it as like I have a tummy and I'm very active. Like I actually swim, I actually dance around on the beach and play volleyball and all this stuff.
So you actually need it to stay
Yes,
on
so
you.
I need a swimsuit that's gonna be double layered because that was another problem with a lot of the swimsuits. Okay, yes, you find your size, but it's one layer of spandex and it's very thin.
It's very thin. When you get into the water, all part of your shore, if you try to dive off, all of your burst out the door because it dropped down. Trust me, girl, I
So
know,
that's
I
what really
know.
inspired me. And a
So
lot of my friends had young kids and we're at the beach and I'm like, yo, they're wearing these thin ass bikinis. And I'm like, if that kid do say, mommy, everything is
one
out,
pull,
so yeah,
everything
so
out
I
the door.
designed a tankini, a one piece, and a swim dress. I did like those were my three first swimsuits, and I debuted it in Jamaica, and then I went to Paris and New York and stuff like that, and it was just so awesome.
I am actually looking forward and speaking it into being that both your swimsuit line and my swimsuit line, Broadtail, will be on the same stage internationally very
Yes,
soon.
that would be amazing. I mean,
I particularly like your yellow one with the mesh. I really
the
love
yellow
it.
one with the mesh. Okay.
Yes, I love it.
Yes.
So if there is a girl out here in Jamaica or a girl in the States or any other part of the world who is full figured and loves fashion, wants to be a part of the fashion industry, whether being a model or a designer, based on the experiences that you went through, because we got through all your faint off of fruits and water, how you still decided that you were going to do this thing in New York 4 times. You got try out for the Oprah's standing model, and now you're doing your thing with your own fashion line and being a model and earning. What would you tell this girl?
OMG, I would tell her that you're wonderfully and beautifully made and just have some great confidence. Confidence will take you through the world. And now is an absolutely amazing time to become a influencer and model, a ambassador. Now is an amazing time, even because now as models we are ambassadors, influencers, all of that. So if you are not getting in the traditional way of going to an agency and having an agency pick you up, you could be your own agent, you could be your own
Because
manager.
you can use all the platforms that we have.
Right, there's so many different platforms now. Instagram, LinkedIn, I mean Facebook, everything, Clubhouse, they have so many different platforms
I'm
now.
just now learning about this Clubhouse thing. Think I'm
Yeah,
try it out.
they have that too. Right. And so there is no limit right now. And just like I was saying earlier that I could not understand why I was unique, that was one of the reasons why I am unique. And that's one of the reasons you are unique, because I always tell even fellow models and, younger models, I also teach posing also. So
What?
for models, I'm a pose coach also.
Girl, I did not know that.
Because Oprah is not a model, she doesn't really know how to move in front of the camera. Now she really is very good at it, because watching me and seeing all the stuff that I do in front of the camera, she is really good in front of the camera now. But that's one of the things. So don't doubt yourself. Just know that you're enough. You're uniquely made. And there's that little girl who's going to look up to you, for her confidence, for all of that stuff, to feel like she's worth it. And you'll hear a bag of no's, but once you know that this is what you're supposed to do, it will also choose you also. Like, if you can't wait to get up and just model and pose and, wear fashion and tell the world about
Be
it.
your authentic self.
Yes, that's it for you. You could definitely do it.
All right. What is your favorite body part?
My favorite body part actually are my 38 triple Ds, because they are
everybody, every single guest I have, everybody. I'm the only one that's not the favorite body part for me. Fine.
Really? I am not really a butt girl. I mean, I'm mixed with Indian, so I have a kind of like weird shape, unique shape, beautiful shape. So I love my breasts because they're also my money makers too. I'm world's 38 triple D fit model. So a lot of the bra companies, they use my body, my bust to develop their bras. Nice. So that's another thing that I do too.
Nice. Yes. So you're really just all around this fashion industry. Bras, modeling, swimsuit, posing. Yeah, man. You're going with yourself over there in New York. I like it. What's your favorite?
Thank you. Us Jamaicans, give us an open door. We going in.
What's your favorite color?
My favorite color is hot pink.
On the wall. Yeah. You look like a hot pink type of girl. You do look like a hot pink type of girl. All right, Trisha. So you said that you were a pose coach?
Yes.
I'm no pose coach, but I love posing.
Yes, I see so...
and I'm just gonna do my poses because right now I'm intimidated because you're a pose coach. But we have on this podcast, being Broadtail, we're going to be posing because we have a segment called the Sleek Confidence Pose. So me and you are going to have one pose off. And right now, I just build up my confidence because after you done say you're a pose coach, I'm not come go on like say, I'm afraid of you and you're posing.
All right. Wow. Just let it loose, girl. Let it loose.
Yes, I'm going to let it loose.
Yes.
So we're going to have our pose off, all right?
Flash, flash and feel it. Flash, flash and feel it. Flash, flash and feel it. Hey, it's like a movie. Girl, you a star the show. Baby girl, oh, you want so good.
Trisha, thank you so much for dropping all your gems about your own journey as a full-figured model, as a pose coach, as a fashion designer, and all the great work that you are doing for Black women and for girls over there in the States. I know you were just here in Jamaica, but you need to come back because I have a gift for you. I actually have one of my Broadtail pieces for you. And give it till you come back. I'm not give it till you come back and tour with them on the beach together.
Of course, we can go to Portland, girl.
For pictures on Instagram.
Yes.
So you're gonna let me know when you're coming, right? You know you need to come because you're freezing. You are freezing. You need to come.
Literally, yeah.
Yes. So thank you so much for really supporting and telling us your journey about being Broadtail.
You are totally welcome. Thanks for having me.
Thank you to my audience. Another Thursday, the beginning of another fabulous weekend for all my Broadtails. You never know which guests you're going to get next week. So you know you need to tune in because one thing you know for sure, the confidence is going to be up and the program is going to be lit. And always remember, embrace your full body. That's what makes the experience a plus. Thank you.
Yes, girl.
There's a time and place of planning your life, but we think you should decide. That's why we give you eLife. Life insurance you can purchase online, anytime, anywhere. It's easy. Choose your life insurance coverage, apply, and pay online.
Living the e-life easy.
Live the e-life with Sagicor Life.